Hey everyone. Bonus stream.
Oh. Yep.
It's mushroom
With an
time.
unfortunate,
Yeah, unfortunately
unfortunate but necessary read.
I'm extremely tired, so we're probably just gonna read Angel Notes. What do you think?
But yeah.
I'm so
Hey,
excited for
realism,
Angel Notes
wise,
though.
deep fried,
Oh my
soiled.
god. Hey everyone.
Ah.
Let me bring us here. I got a screen for it. Kind of. I definitely didn't throw this together in the last 20 minutes.
Speaking of which,
Oh yeah,
I'm
you
going to
need the
need
stream.
a stream of that screen. Something.
This is the first mushroom work that was published.
Like, I guess I could just open it up separately. But
Let me yeet it over to you.
Hmm.
I don't know how the quality's gonna be for you. Why does it keep going to 1080 60?
Because it's like, clearly, since you have Nitro, you're going to want to use this.
So 720 30. Is that good?
It should be.
Can you read this? I have to click on it. I know nothing about notes. I know absolutely nothing about notes.
Yeah. I explained it like over a year ago. And luckily,
Like,
you
what's
didn't
on,
absorb any of it.
what's on screen right now? I have not read any of it. I don't know what it says. Hey, Worm.
Hey, Worm.
I had no idea what's on
Oh,
screen
come
right
on,
now. I've not
podcast,
read it yet.
please.
For all I know, Nasu could be like talking about taking over the world or something, and I wouldn't know. Turning everyone into a mushroom.
Wait, was Kara no Kyokai actually published before Notes? I thought that Kara no Kyokai was written
Oh,
before Notes, but published after Notes.
probably. Hmm.
But, and no, I have not actually read Notes. I have read the TV Tropes article on it, though.
Of course, we need a TV tropes emote or something.
I remember finding it very confusing. It seems like a story that's hard to absorb through that metric, that delivery system.
Oh God, Pepsi Man took over my computer again. There we go.
That kept happening through.
Pepsi Man
Oh,
took over my
right,
mute
but published,
key
but
because I needed a call.
that's new. But yeah, I guess Notes
Its power
technically wasn't
grows.
published. Technically not published. It was released in like consoles, right?
I don't know. I don't know anything about
Because I
notes.
don't know if Kara no Kyokai was also released in circles. The first public work that I on a website. Okay, well, in that case,
Also, you can
I have no
tell
idea what I'm talking about.
you can tell how old this is because the
State
e-download link
websites.
goes to Mega Upload, which has been dead for like I don't even know how long. I mean, looking at the date up here, 10 years at least. I think there's like a comment being like, "Yep, the download link is broken. Fix it." Hey, Antimatter. The first Nasu work that's
Hey,
published.
antimatter. Oh, you know what would
Or
probably work better than
debatably.
this?
Yeah?
Stream me your OBS.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that'll
Because
probably
that
work
gets me
better.
just the text.
Oh, I need
No,
to do
no,
the
you know
virtual
what?
camera,
Wait.
right?
You can just
Of course
stream
you do.
OBS itself.
Just stream you OBS? Okay.
Oh, that's a fair amount of blood.
What?
I
Oh no, not another
so
on-stream injury.
recently. Well, no, technically. Recently, I tried to buy myself a great value razor because the razor
Oh
blades are
no.
cheap as dirt, and it turns out it's actually okay. This is not gonna work.
Yeah, I only got my vertical monitoring. I'll get the virtual camera going.
Nah, just stream the site.
Okay. Oh
But
yeah,
yeah, it turns out there's a
what
good
music should
reason
we
to buy
play?
good razors, and I have cut myself like 1,000 times this morning, and I just accidentally like pushed my finger too hard into my face and reopened one of the wounds.
Oh, I felt that. Oh god, that's oh, I love my electric razor. What should we put for the background music?
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I have HA, but I also have access to stay night. Oh, Soil's got something. Is this copyright safe?
yeah, is that playable on stream, or is that just a recommendation for us to listen to?
Yeah, because oh wait, I have desktop audio on. Hopefully that first bit doesn't get hit by content ID. Probably won't, I hope.
Why
Oh,
do you have desktop audio on?
I get so scared with it seeing people's entire channels get taken down. Also, whenever it goes
Why
to
do you
the
have desktop audio on?
because it's the same thing for streaming the visual novels.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Oh, it's just so-
Oh yeah, I guess there's an easy way to check that, whether it would be a problem or not, and you just gotta look
Hmm?
at the YouTube description to see what it's caught content ID wise, and it's caught nothing.
All right, so it should probably be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I just get paranoid about it because whenever I go to Twitch, when I go to the video manager or whatever, on the side there's just big thing that says copyright strikes 0, and then the 0 is like really small and hidden. I'm just like, I don't need reminders that you're just like YouTube now.
Uh. All right. Well, let's put up after image C71
After image. All right.
by wave.
Is there a way to put this on a different track for the recording? That way, in case it does get caught, I can just be like, nah. Oh, yes, there is a
If
way to
there's
do
one
that.
trait we both share, it's paranoia.
Oh, there is a way to do that. Okay.
To put it up on a separate audio track?
Uh-huh. Desktop audio and just remove it from the 6th. I'll just have it on the first track. And then everything else is recording to the other tracks. Oh,
I
I wouldn't be
think you might have
surprised.
to restart for that to fully activate, but
All right, that's fine. I'll just restart the recording.
that's not. Oh, for YouTube, for YouTube. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
for
yeah. Right.
YouTube. For Twitch, it's fine. Oh, basically, it's copyright. It's
The Digital Millennium Copyright Act
mhm.
allows for an action that you can take that is often just referred to by the name of the act, in which basically it protects websites from the legal reprisal of content owners by making it a direct action towards the uploader. And so most sites, it's basically the law that caused the thing where if a site detects that you have the content, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Also, thanks for parsing legal speak lawyer or ex lawyer. You can speak lawyer.
I trained to be a lawyer for like a few years when I
Ace
was a
Attorney is going
child.
to be interesting.
And yes, that's like half of the reason right there is Ace Attorney was good.
Wait, really? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't blame you. It looks really good. We need to get into Ace Attorney sometime.
But yeah. Speaking of getting
Yeah.
into things.
Yeah, let's get into this. So we got the
Yeah.
psychology's interesting. I took a few classes in high school, which are actually more interesting than the ones in college somehow. The college I went to was fucking
Fucking
weird though, so
like I was going to go from lawyer into prosecution into trying to be a judge and then trying to leverage that into like a political position. My eventual aim was president, but that was before I had anything I enjoyed in my life that distracted me.
and speaking of those things, let's get
And
into
now
angel
I'm just ready to
notes.
tear the whole system down.
Your Twitter bio.
Indeed. Ah,
Psych is very interesting.
we're all ex wannabe lawyers here, or at least a big portion of us. Yes, yeah.
All right,
Let's.
let's get into the notes. All right, so I'm gonna start the soundtrack in 3, 2, 1. I'm looking at the timestamp on it. There's no way we'll finish it that quickly. All right, let's read Nasu's notes. So, how are we gonna read this? Are we just gonna take turns reading things?
Well, if you wanted to toss between like
Yeah, gonna toss between the chapters.
the narration voice.
Or yeah, maybe we could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Captain History.
Yeah. Let's toss between chapters.
Hey,
here.
Captain.
Hello, Captain.
Oh my God, this is voicing Nasu. Oh God, what does Nasu sound like? What do mushrooms sound like? Yeah, no, this is Nasu
Well, it's not
writing as
voicing
Nasu.
Nasu. It's you reading a quote in your voice.
Then, this is what I wrote when I was invited to make an anthology comic on the topic of angels. However, the anthology wasn't text-based, and the other two were artists, so I was in trouble. What is the meaning of a novel when over half the book was pictures? Especially when it's a short novel. That's how I came up with the irregular notes after my doubtfulness. I remember that I was pretty satisfied with it when I came up with, or I was pretty satisfied with what I came up with, considering it's completed in a short amount of time. Although it's unpleasant to the eyes, it brings back memories when I cut and pasted what I typed out from the word processor. If I ever get a chance, I would like to make this into a real series of story too. I always think about that when I look at the black barrel. Mushroom eggplant. Just talk like you ate a few chips. Oh my god, all these Nasu voice suggestions are great, actually. I wish you saw them before I started reading. Also, how's the soundtrack going for everyone? God, I'm so ready for this.
It's good.
And this is like
let's
written
get into
quickly
it.
by Nasu too. Alright, let's get into it. Also, it's just so cool actually reading a quote from Nasu.
Then let's start it at 0.
Started at
Chapter
0.
0.
The first sentence is like, his name was Emiya Kiritsugu. Oh, there's just a gunshot in the soundtrack. Okay. Cheers.
Well, you read that, so I can take over.
Yeah, you get this.
It's a black screen for me right now.
Oh, there. Oh, it's Japanese for God. Okay.
Gato.
You can see it now, right?
Angel notes. Yep.
Yeah. Here we go.
The Matter of Knight Arms. And Overcount, 1999. Type Other. The aircraft rose further up the troposphere. The sea of ashen clouds had yet to disappear. Iron wings soared in the gray sky to annihilate the common enemy of the human race. At the end of the battle, all but one of the aircrafts that had participated in the mission were destroyed. Perhaps I was lucky that an obsolete AI was piloting it. The AI-controlled plane was the only one that was unaffected by the heat of the enemy. I flew on alone. As I thought, the organic pulsations echoing in the machine were mine alone. I opened the hangar and drew up my gun. The air flowing in the machine was cold, burning my lungs. The internal temperature had reached below 0. The coat I wear carried minimal protection. Wow. Literally just came up with the word protection in my head. Is at a level that would just barely sustain organic life. This aircraft, which had only been intended to act as a transport for flight-capable species, was not equipped with weaponry. If I'm dead, I have to risk my life. Arctic cold and rampaging winds. The corpses of my comrades, spinal fluid leaking out from the noses and ears, lay behind me. An old aircraft, which could crash at any moment. The situation was so absolutely bleak that I felt like singing out loud. Holding the black barrel I had modified for sniping, I did nothing but wait for the enemy. For the moment the enemy would enter the scope. For the moment I could pull the trigger and be at ease. 7 days had been added to the clock of the plane. Only 7 days have passed. My paralyzed brain felt that I could stay like for another month or another year. My body was always on the verge of collapsing. How many days and months has it been? My mind My language. Myself. Just when I lost everything, and recollected everything. The gun's sight caught the enemy. I pulled the trigger without hesitation. My brain punched through its limits and was scorched. Just one brief moment before I fell into unconsciousness. Just one slight moment before I blacked out. Just a moment before I was about to fade away, I witnessed the form of my enemy. How beautiful. Between a rift in the clouds, I saw an angel.
Oh my god.
Oh, yup.
Nasu. It's so good.
The Nasu is palpable here.
God, that fucking, especially my brain punched through its limits and was scorched. Do you understand?
Yep. Are you?
Just a little bit. Yes. Oh, I definitely get Kiritsugu vibes.
Oh, definitely.
Notes cry count. You keep track of that because I don't have actually let's open up notepad. There.
The thing about Notepad is that when you access it, I lose my
So when the screen
when you
goes
access
black for
the
a second, you know
index
I cried.
Notepad, the processes sustaining my vision over the novel Angel Notes disappears.
Oh my god. No, I definitely need to. I mean, it disappears for me too because my tears block the way. Oh no, it's all good. Antimatter.
Yeah.
I love this. It's all good.
But yeah.
This is so good. Also, I do eventually plan to read the light novel for Zero. Especially if there's more Nasu in there. Alright. Original Sin. Are we ready? Oh, also, that's where there was a gunshot in the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go. Wait, what about the burger thing? What? The burger thing?
Don't worry about the burger thing. You'll get to it eventually.
I mean, chat seems very divided on the burger thing. All I know is Saber would probably like the burger thing. Alright, let's go. Oh, I super don't know what the burger thing is, do I?
Alright, for the actual characters, I'll voice the dude, you voice the angel.
Alright. Let's go. And then, he does the narration. I guess he does the narration.
Yeah, you know what? You're doing Hollow Ataraxia so much, I can just take the full narration for you.
Yeah, you take the narration here. I will react.
After I came back home from work, I saw an angel in my room holding a guitar.
I can hear it.
I guess I finally gone insane. Long, blonde, wavy hair, a pure white one-piece dress, a face that left hints of girlish youth, and a ring of light floating on top of her head. If this wasn't an angel, I sure as hell didn't know what one was supposed to be.
Oh my god. I'm so excited. Alright. How to voice an angel. Good evening.
The angel bowed with an awkward smile. After rubbing my eyes, I walked inside. The angel kept standing in the middle of the room, holding the guitar. For some reason, was looking at me excitedly. Okay, who the hell are you?
I'm an angel. She laughed with a smile.
Yeah, I can tell. What I meant was, why are you in my room? If you're here to sell yourself, you're in the wrong room. I hate to break it to you, but I'm not making enough cash to buy an angel.
I'm not here for that. What's the best way of putting it? I'd like to do your housework.
I can do that by myself. Get out.
No, I just can't do that. You see, I can do anything. She was full of Oh no, you. I'm used to HA.
Since
Okay.
she was full of confidence, I let her clean the place up. The result? A scene far more gruesome than a tragedy.
Huh? Oh, I lost my place. There it is. My cooking's perfect. Wait, what's the...
The angel said, quickly sticking her index finger up. I assumed her, and
Yeah, it's probably like a lost character or whatever.
no thanks. We can't take factory-produced food. It has too much nutrition, and the veins will rupture. You get what I'm saying? The angel nodded. Seems like she at least knew that I was a human and not a part of the A-ray species. Okay. So what else can you do?
I can play the guitar.
She said happily, stroking the guitar. Her blue guitar was one of the types that used electricity to produce sound. It wasn't the kind of merchandise that went well with angels. And not just that, she just plain sucked. Get out! I took the angel's hands and kicked her out from the window.
Dude, what the... Oh my god.
Days passed, and I went to the hospital. There's nothing wrong with your brain, answered a fish-faced doctor.
Fish-faced?
And so, every day after finishing work, I wasted energy chasing away that angel. Eventually, I gave up bothering to.
The sky. It's dark. The...
The angel muttered as she looked out at the sky from the window.
Dr.
An
Crotamian.
angel that didn't even know that? Figures. She didn't seem to be one of the artificial angels amongst the A-rays. Where did you come from? I'm guessing you're not an A-ray on this side of the rift.
The rift? I'm not an A-ray.
Then what are you?
I'm a being that was created from the hopes and dreams of people living in the city. That's why I'm so pretty. I'm glad that everyone has such pure souls.
The angel twirled around happily. The edge of her skirt fluttered like a dress. Now that she mentioned it, she seemed unreal. The angel was too beautiful to be an inhabitant of the land of steel. Her golden hair was so dazzling that it projected poison. Fucking fuck.
Land of Steel.
So that means she's an illusion that only I could see? So, why is the manifestation of everybody's imagination in my room?
Because it's you who killed me.
She seemed to be mad that I didn't realize that. More so than the fact that I killed her. When I asked her if she came here to get revenge, she answered,
What's revenge?
What?
Huh?
The angel turned out to be pretty handy. Learned many
She's-
things gradually.
She's so innocent.
She now grasps what it means to clean. The only option was anything involving the guitar.
I'm not improving with the guitar at all. I'm playing it just like I'm imagining it. But what I'm thinking and what's coming out are completely different. That's a mood. Trying to learn how to make music.
I am still trying to keep up with chat, and I do appreciate the messages. It's
Same
actually
here.
very difficult when I'm reading so much. out.
Yeah. Now you see how
Apparently,
I'm
that's
sending you
the
messages.
difference with narrating. Yeah. And now
Oh
you
my
see how I
God.
catch so many.
Yeah. Oh. I love this so
No
far.
shit. No shit. My guitar hasn't been tuned. Yep. It was screwed up from the beginning. The angel tilted her head and asked,
What's tuning? Oh, I love this. Oh, what's that? Is that beeping in the background? Also, the soundtrack is great. Like, it feels like an anime soundtrack.
a female body with a pair of bird wings on the back. If it also has a beautiful form, then that life form is called an angel.
Oh, the
My
Tenshi
job
lives.
was to shoot down 20 of those angels a day. That's why it wasn't that surprising for me to be seen as an enemy by all who were angels. I came to this city a year ago. The strangest city within the land of steel. No plants are able to grow on the soil of this planet. However, there were numerous gray-colored trees within the city, and
Which
even a
literal.
withered grass field on top of a hill. In the hill, at the center of the city, there were two gigantic trees that covered the sky. These trees reached the sea of clouds. They were called the world trees for their size. I am adding like pauses. Yeah. I'm adding pauses between the paragraphs to look at chat quickly and to also give you room to make notes or talk.
Yeah, this is. We're getting all the background lore here. It's very weird, like hearing Nasu writing in a universe that isn't Fate. It's like, oh, all the rules don't apply here. We're getting a different background here. Yep, to make notes.
Yep, I heard it when I said it. Heard it when I said it.
Oh, wait, I don't have hands right now. Wait, is this technically in the same Nasuverse? It is part of the universe. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was
Steel,
supposed to confirm or deny that. I don't know too much about like the reveal structure of this.
Okay. Wait, is this gonna show up in Holoraxia? I've got some
I
theories
chose
to
my
make after
job.
this.
I chose my job as an angel hunter. In this city, angels come down from the sky and attack people every day. Although they do attack people, they're only at the annoying level of wild dogs, and not many were actually affected. But if we left them alone, the city would be filled with angels, so the city council had to hire hunters.
Angels attack people, huh?
I don't know if the angels have a set location they come down to, but I saw a lot of them in the forest to the city outskirt. Pulling the trigger of the gun, I absorbed the impact on my shoulder. The naked angel fell down and hit the floor as it was shot right in the forehead. There were countless leaves and countless dead angels on the floor of the forest. Going across the rough surface of the earth, I returned to the walls that surround the city. The beastman who was appointed in another area was waving his hand as he approached me.
Beastman.
Hey! Oh no, that voice isn't gonna work. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, beast bro.
Not much. 3 coppers per kill. If I consider the cost of the bullet, I won't even have a single copper for myself. It's because you use a gun. If you're a man, use your body. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not that well built. I need to take medication in order to get oxygen. I'm doing my best just to
literal
live.
beast.
I see. You humans are so inconvenient. Indeed. Being human is inconvenient. Yes. In this world, humans are certainly inconvenient. That's why human beings in the old age made a lot of creative tools. As a result, A-rays were invented. And that ended in the Great War. Now, your human beings became extinct. With a freeloader called the Angel staying at my house, I increased my workload. Workload? Workload. That angel ate food. That angel ate food. Although the materials produced at the factory are free, there's a limit to it. I had to increase my daily quota from 20 to 30. How ironic is it to kill more angels to feed an angel?
She did say she wasn't an A-ray, so
Yep.
she's something entirely different. She seems closer to a true angel. Ooh, near. That's gonna be a time later.
You're working hard lately, the Beastman continued. I'm just releasing my stress. Those targets actually look like the cause of my stress. Make this lame job exciting. I couldn't help it and let it out. The Beastman tilted his head. It's a good thing that you're dedicated to your job, but watch out. They said there were some knights who were inspecting the forest. I heard a demonic sword user was looking at you. What does that mean?
Aristotle's? What?
Is there an Aristoteles coming this way? Aristotle's coming this way? I don't know. More importantly, our pay was supposed to be lowered again this month. There's a more realistic problem. Right. Is the Financial Bureau ready to kill us now? I never done anything wrong, though. Oh, wait. I never done anything wrong, though, as said a prisoner who murdered over 50 human species. The beast man sighed as he looked at the pile of dead angels scattered across the forest. He muttered a bad idea. Hey, you think we can eat them? I shrugged as I made the obvious reply. Forget it. You'll be punished by heaven, I bet.
Oh, this is so good. How old is Nasu when they wrote this?
1999.
How do we... What is that in mushroom years? Oh, this came out after I was born. That's weird.
Same. 1973, so...
26. Oh, big storm. Oh,
That's so relieving. That's so relieving.
were you scared that Nasu was gonna be like 18 when this came out?
Yes.
Oh, this is so good though. Like it just feels like Nasu writing.
But then again, like, people get their starts, like, even well into their, like, 30s, at the start of their 40s sometimes. Like...
Oh
Ah.
god, I'm 23. I'm not that far off. That's weird. That's weird. That's too weird. I don't like this. I don't like this. Yeah, wasn't that Fate Route?
Hmm.
Nasu with the Fate Route in high school. The first half.
And I'm just sitting here at 20 through...
20.
22 up
20
through
through.
until August.
Oh, this is a really good soundtrack. It's got like singing and everything.
Yeah.
Wait, can you hear the soundtrack?
I can, yes.
Okay, good.
Because it's playing all of the sounds from your browser right now.
Okay.
Wait.
20 through. That's just your age now. You're 20 through.
Okay, if you're going to say that, then I'm going to ask on stream, why do you have this open in an incognito browser?
Oh, I just did some my bookmarks and stuff wouldn't mess with it.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
Music note. So oh yeah, Index.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Oh. You know, that makes sense.
I remember watching like I think I watched Index 1 and Railgun 1. I don't know, I didn't continue.
Because you watched Railgun 1.
I think I enjoyed watching I think I enjoyed it somewhat. I don't remember. I don't remember a lot of anime I watched back then. Because I just watched all the anime. All I know is it has good music.
Yep.
And also
Well,
there was a
what's
character that
it
looked like
next?
he was like 25 and he was 13.
That's right!
You know the one I'm talking about, right? The guy with the orange hair?
Magnus.
Yeah,
Style
the one that
Magnus.
smokes, yeah. It's like, wait, he's 13, I call bullshit.
Yeah. I remember like going back to rewatch it recently because I just watched the anime and like I'm just like, oh shit, this is like Nasu but like not quite,
I need to re-experience it. I'll probably have a similar
which
takeaway.
is a reason to watch it, but you know. I need to go back into it at like a 50th time.
But yes, we aren't talking about
Yeah.
the content alert. I started saying that in antimatter.
Yep.
You finished
Yep.
the sentence for me.
Uh.
All right, let's go.
Oh yeah, and no, I will just end on saying that like, I've definitely seen the fucking like Nasu influence in so much shit.
Hell, I feel inspired by Nasu for D&D, and I know you have been already. You really have been.
Okay.
Wow, that last session. Yes, same. Awesome. It's actually hard not to after experiencing Nasu. It works.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm gonna also address that before heading back in. Yes. Every last thing I've ever written has been Nasu inspired. Even stuff that I've gone back to before I read Fate, I've looked at it and noticed, huh, this is kind of like terrible Nasu writing.
Oh my god. So the first plot idea I had for one of I think it was the first D&D campaign I was gonna DM. It was literally just a worse Angra Mainyu story. That's why, like, after I was like, God damn it! Wait, hold on a second. It's the same thing, just worse.
But
Yes.
back to the
Let's
content.
get into this. Enough
On
talk
my
about
way
Nasu
home
writing.
from work,
Let's talk about Nasu writing.
I got caught by an angel. Not the angel at home, but an angel from the actual A-ray subspecies.
Yes, the mushroom
And that
spreads its
one's...
spores.
And that one's... you.
Oh, yes. You're not very sociable lately. Rejecting an invitation from a pretty person like me? You must be impotent.
She said that as she pushed me into a bar and offered me a glass of alcohol. It's true. I hadn't spoken to her for about half a year.
Oh my god, it's actually...
While we were having some casual conversation, a bunch of hecklers butted in. They said the angel should accompany the A-rays instead of that human. I thought so too, but she shut them up with a glare.
Yeah, it looks like not all of them are killed on site. Yeah, I saw, like, he was definitely hunting A-rays before. I get the feeling like maybe some of them are feral or something. I'm sorry, were you offended?
Yeah. I don't feel good about it, but they're right. Why do you care about someone like me? Don't A-rays find lovers in order to produce stronger species? I won't be able to create strong children.
It doesn't hurt to make an exception, does it? Besides, our outside appearance matters more to us. There aren't many species that are close to the angels, and you're my type. There's no problem, she said as she drank the purple fizz in her glass.
She looked like a real angel. Her wings weren't used for flying. They were a dish to collect the heavy particles in the surrounding. The angel species are able to fly without wings. Originally the protectors of the A-rays, called the Six Sisters. Angels are considered to have fighting power equal to the knights who carried the demonic swords.
What are demonic swords?
In other words, they can perform destructive activity akin to a nuclear bomb on their own.
Oh, Excalibur.
No. a nuke.
Oh, like it took a second there. So,
Like,
Aya, almost. Alright, so I guess between Excalibur and Aya.
yeah. I don't think Excalibur's like maybe a small nuke Excalibur's equivalent to, but like
I guess it depends on who has Saber.
as we drank more alcohol, our true characters were now more or less revealed. She asked me a weird question.
Yes, Salter's Excalibur.
Hmm.
Also, their wings use heavy particles. I assume they like might subsist off them or something. It might give them their powers, the heavy particles. But yes. Hey, why do you use a gun?
Humans can't use Jin like you ARAs, you know. Their strength is
Jin?
limited as well. So it's natural we rely on weapons. What other practical firearms are there other than a gun?
I feel that realism. The calcs. Along with words like bloodlusted. It was like,
R/she would win. Oh, grain! Grain! That makes a lot more sense.
Oh, grain, okay.
I know grain. Humans can't use grain like you A-rays, you know. There we go.
That means humans aren't made to fight. But why do you still fight?
Let's see. If I recall correctly, my family was killed when I was small. That's when I dug up a gun and practiced shooting so I could take revenge.
If I recall correctly. Oh, typical.
Yeah, it's typical. I tried to laugh, but I couldn't. I never succeeded in trying to make a forced smile.
Nasu.
Yeah, I saw Jin and I'm like, huh, that's weird. Was there like a different element in the story other than grain?
But no, it's all green. Wait, it's all green?
Always has been.
Earth turns to bread. Oh, Breadson is
yeah.
gonna be here.
And that's you.
Yeah, it is. No, I noticed. But I lost my place. There it is. Yep. But doesn't a family mean we're of the same species? I never heard of humans living around here.
I haven't told you, have I? I was originally born in Westland, on the other side of the Great Rift.
Westland? You mean the continent that got wiped out by the Black Aristotles?
Okay, that's a question. Is it what is the pronunciation on that? 'Cause it's obviously based on the name Aristotles, but like, is it Aristotles or Aristoteles? Like,
Aristoteles sounds better. So I'm gonna go with that. It is, isn't it? I love this. I love the amount of world building that can be done without even like having a Nasu info dump.
pronounced. Okay, why did you put it in the fucking phonetic pronunciation like I was supposed to understand?
Huh? God, I wish I could world build like Nasu as well. That's where I'm struggling the most in writing the new campaign. Like, Getting that entire world fleshed out.
Oh, well, you don't get the whole world fleshed out.
Well, yeah, not the whole world, but like concepts and stuff like that. My brain is just like, I want to go through
IPA
the
is the
characters.
bane of my fucking existence. I just need to bite the bullet and fucking learn to read it at some point.
Right.
Oh, it's it's the actual, like, Greek phoneticization of Aristotle.
Aristoteles. Anyway.
Surprised, she fell silent. When West Land was completely scorched, I was a kid of only 12 or 13. An old story from almost 7 years ago.
By the way, do you still do that job?
I do. There isn't any other job opportunity for a halfwit like me. I don't want to be kept under protection as a rare species either. What? You still complaining? They are different from you. Don't be so concerned. It's silly.
Oh god. Our kid. He's
Oh
younger
god!
than us. No.
He's younger than us! But he's got, like, Hiritsugu's inner monologue. I mean, I guess that's what happened when you, like,
No, it makes
live.
sense. It's like, oh god, another character that's younger than me.
Yeah.
This is weird. Oh my god. Also, listen to this music.
Yup.
I love the Notes fandom so much. I'm
Oh
concerned.
god, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I am concerned. I don't mind others doing it, but it makes me angry to think that of you killing all people. I'm concerned.
That
I don't
you
mind
of all
others
people.
doing it, but it makes me angry to think that you, of all people, are killing angels every day. Hey, why do you hunt angels?
It's because I'm twisted. It's my job. I can't help it. I said that without looking at her eyes. She gave me a cold look, seeing through my lie.
Oh no, here we go then. You're right. You've quit thinking. That's why you don't feel any pain. But, on the other hand, you don't feel any happiness either. You never have fun by recalling the past either. Your life must be like a machine you use. That's why you need to rely on something simple like logical reasoning in order to motivate yourself. That Kiritsugu.
The angel said that with a discontent expression. What's so wrong with being a machine? The theory that higher life forms have emotions was a real fantasy.
This is actually proto Kiritsugu in the best way possible.
What's wrong with you today? You seem to be very prickly.
No kidding. It's because you won't talk to me.
A drunken angel isn't very appealing.
What do you mean? I may look like this, but I'm very popular in my hometown.
Answering, yeah. I sipped on my glass. I was supposed to restrain myself tonight, but I'm passing out before her. The angel asked me her last question.
Hey, why do you fight?
That's because I don't want to die.
Then why don't you want to die?
Probably because I want to live.
Why do you want to live?
That's obvious. Because I never got to experience anything good.
Is that so? Needing logical reason in order to live. You're an underdeveloped life form.
After saying that, she left first. But how can I help it? Because the human race kept on living instinct. The world died once. Having to rely on pessimistic reasoning is the only punishment given to the humans who are left behind.
Crack count up, damn it. Oh, no one writes like Nasu.
That fucking
Also,
writing,
Yasuo's
yeah.
in that line because I never got to experience anything good. Oh, you really do see a proto Kiritsugu as well. Nasu can only write 3 characters, and they're really good characters. I don't even see that as a weakness either.
Yeah, because of the ability, like the built up like writing ability built around that to actually differentiate those same 3 characters.
Oh, you can mix those character archetypes together though, and make a bunch more. And like the best part is the ability to draw parallels between characters.
Nasu's writing capability is dragging the slider between McDonald's, we have food at home, and drives up to window, orders 1 black coffee, drives away.
Yep.
Anyway, though,
No one writes like
we
Nasu.
should keep reading, and we're never going to be done with this. We're
I'm,
already 30 minutes away from time
I think
for
we ended the
usual
soundtrack. We
streams.
did. I gotta restart the soundtrack. Okay. Alright. After images.
Ah.
You ready?
Slipping through the busy streets of the city, I returned to my room. The angel was stubbornly still there. It'll be winter soon.
Oh yeah, I
The
never meant
temperature
to
would
just...
break the critical freezing point, and the city would soon literally freeze. But I didn't think of passing my second winter in this city.
Absolutely never meant it as an insult. I'm just like, oh, I can see a bit of
Oh,
Kiritsugu
yeah.
here. But not
It's
entirely.
more like Iritsugu was another shot at similar ideas.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, that's my line.
It is.
There's a lot of commotion in the city lately, the angel said as she looked down from the window.
A large window, larger than the angel, looked like the window of a church that I once saw in a picture book. The angel with blonde hair and bright white wings bent over with a sad face. Behind her, the city and 2 world trees were blurry like a mirage. Everything was inside a gunmetal world. It was a nightmare. Only this angel was pretty. The angel looked down at the distant grounds. The city was packed with people who were trying to leave.
What is everyone doing?
They're moving out altogether.
Yeah,
The
the
neighboring
world's
area
free.
was destroyed by a 3,000-meter Aristoteles. Aristotles. I still don't.
Wait, that big?
Calculating its route. It said it will pass through the city in 3 days.
It's like a mux of some sort. Above me? No, it's...
Above us.
Wait,
It might collide with the world tree.
Oh.
Either way, everything in its path is destroyed. It's obvious why people are running away.
Oh my god, that's huge for anything. Yeah, too much.
Aristoteles. Got it.
Oh, so that's why everyone's so desperate. The angel said as she absentmindedly looked down.
Glancing at the angel who's just standing there, I started packing my belongings. I shoved winter gear and clothing, personal air maker, and several guns into my bag. I decided to leave everything else behind.
Huh. I wonder if there's any inspiration from Ava with angels.
I would be shocked if there wasn't.
Yeah, because I think
Wait.
Ava came out significantly before, like a few years before Nasu probably started working on this.
1995 to 96.
Yep. Also, Nasu wrote this quickly, so. Also, Nasu wrote this
just-
quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
just in general, yeah. You can definitely see it in Seen It as well.
I mean, like, everyone was inspired by Ava. That's just one of
I know
the
there's just like an anime
most
Dark
influential
Age where
works.
everything was an Ava clone. Or they tried to be an Ava clone, but like didn't have interesting characters, so it kind of fell apart. And then Nasu built on it. Oh, Nasu literally wrote Mihoyo after episode 1 of Ava. Oh, that's so cool. I can't wait to get to Mihoyo.
But yeah.
Can't wait for all
Yep,
Nasu work,
was.
but yes, back to notes.
Where were we? Are you going
Oh, that's
to?
my line. Are you going to?
Yeah, because I don't want to die. Well, not right away. I'll go out on my own after the commotion down there dies down.
Oh no, they literally
The
did the
angel-
thing.
The angle sadly lowered her eyes. That's translators, though.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know it wasn't on purpose. So they actually did the thing.
The angel sadly lowered her eyes. Because she's always happy for no reason. Just that made her look really lonely.
This
Wait,
may
is
be the
that...
last time.
Wait, is that... No, that's my one. This ain't last time. So let me ask you a question. What were you, after all?
I'm excited for Mihoyo then. The angel side of that. Oh wait, no.
The angel sighed without any seriousness. I can only make out that she isn't from the existing species of angels. That's why I want to know the truth, at least in the end.
The angel replied
You're,
plainly.
yeah.
What everyone calls the Aristoteles.
You didn't know? The angel looked at me like that. Aristoteles. The things that suddenly appeared on this planet and became the enemy of all living things. An unpredictable enemy. Not only was there no method of communication, but their biological structure as living things was unclear. And that was in a little city like this, in a room of a deserted tower, shaped like an angel, and playing a guitar. What kind of a joke was that? No living things on this planet are able to stand against this life form. What a punishment by God. Really? You?
Oh, no. The thing at the base of the city, to be exact. Oh. What I was shot down and fell to this place. It was an instant death. Trees grew and people started living atop that. The angel goes on. This planet no longer has any power to raise life. That's why greens wouldn't grow. But if it was on top of another life instead of the earth, they would. I'm normally not that kind of thing, but I ended up like this. But everyone calls the world trees are the wings of what used to be me. In other words, the wings feathers. The falling feathers took the shape of what I used to look like. I was originally that kind of life form. It's not the angels that were originally on this planet.
But you're still shaped like an angel.
Because I'm everyone's fantasy. The body of what I used to be died already. And it seems something like my mind was still alive. But a concept of a mind never existed to me. The species of this planet have a wonderful ability to form a shape out of knowledge. Using everyone as a model, I formed a shape out of knowledge that I had but never used. The reason I'm shaped like an angel is because it's the closest image to the shape of what I used to be. That's how I was able to communicate with everybody, by creating this same thought circuit. I was able to become myself by taking the imaginary form of an angel. Yeah, she's a dead Aristoteles. Or Aristotle.
Yup.
Oh my god. Also, Nasu really likes thinking of things in terms of circuits.
Yup.
Thought circuits, magic circuits.
The angel detached herself from a thing called Aristoteles by becoming an illusion. She was able to acknowledge herself for the first time by becoming something not herself. She's nothing but the realization of an image of an angel that the people imagined on their own. Are you happy?
The angel cheerfully replied, Yes. Yes.
Only an illusion stood here. I see. An angel can only live within an imagination. I happen to recall the definition of an angel. That it had wings, a halo, were really beautiful, and then it's only an illusion. After all, a thing that brings you hope can only be a fantasy. When I thought about that, the angel sadly replied,
You're right. I wish I was a real angel.
with an appearance that looked more like an angel than an actual angel. She said something like that.
There's the Nasu radio.
But yeah. The earth can't grow things because it's dead.
Why is the cry counter going up with the chapters? Oh my god. I think Nasu will be my favorite writer. It's like forever.
Yeah, chapter 5.
No, this is amazing.
A huge flying cross moved within the ashen clouds. That thing changed its course and started disappearing from sight as it kept on pouring the rain of judgment. It seems like the battle is over. The plane I was on kept increasing its altitude through the troposphere. There's a big hole in the plane's side. The wounded iron bird could no longer listen to what it's told to do. It just kept on flying to its end, as if it's the dream of all who have wings. Sooner or later, it will fly out of the ashen sea of clouds and reach the stratosphere. My body wasn't built so strong that I could breathe at such place. But I don't have to worry about that. There's no guarantee I would be alive by the time I reach there. I leaned against the wall as I brought my gun down. The door of the hangar remained open. Just like before, cold air blew in, and I could see the earth very well. Land without any colors. Even the ocean in the distance was colorless. It's a world that's completely dead. Even so, this world of steel felt so precious. My vision blurred. I saw something like this 5 years ago. That day, the enemy that appeared through the clouds was more beautiful than anything. A pair of winged figure that somehow resembled a human. I shot that thing that looked like an angel. A bullet that was nothing more than a beam to that thing, drilled into its forehead and dropped the angel. That moment, the instant I pulled the trigger, our eyes met through the scope. There was no communication, that's all. But since then, I kept dreaming of that thing falling through. I kept dreaming of that thing falling down the sea of clouds forever. The angel that accompanied the plane woke up. One of her wings was horribly ripped. Being a high-ranking species of the A-rays, she was naturally forced to join this mission, and jumped in here after getting heavily wounded. She only came here to rest her wings, but we were out of luck. The moment she came inside the hangar, the arrow of light hit this plane that was too close to the cross. The light pierced her wing and the body of the plane, and took out her consciousness and the plane's AI. And now, several minutes later, the unconscious angel slowly woke up.
Oh my
Good morning.
god.
When I said that to her, she turned around and looked outside. The thing called the Aristoteles was disappearing in the distance. I told the angel who was spacing out our total losses and the success of the mission. The angel joyously approached. She crawled on the floor since she couldn't stand up, but her hands slipped on something wet. My blood was pooling on the floor, and it dyed the angel's body red.
When you shoved me aside,
Without answering your question, I just gazed outside. Over the limitless clouds, the airplane kept flying upwards. The sky that I saw for the first time was different from what I read in the books. The sky. It's red. Repeating a phrase that I had once heard somewhere. I couldn't keep strength in my hand anymore. The black gun fell to the floor.
The black gun. So you really were the person who shot the bird down?
I guess. That's what people say. But I used all my luck back then. Look at this mess now.
Idiot. Because you saved me.
I can't help it. I wouldn't want a pretty girl like you dying in front of my eyes. I said something really showy. And it was so silly that it made me laugh. That doesn't suit your character. She said that too. We just kept on laughing without looking at each other.
What? Wait.
It was after we just kept on laughing without looking at each other.
Yep, there we go. It was a small, weak, and gentle voice. You've changed. You weren't this honest with your feelings before. So it is true that you found someone other than me.
I wonder if there really... I wonder if there was really such a thing. Although if it's the angel who said she'd rather be a fake, she must still be waiting in my room for me to return.
Fake.
They say that angels cure one's mind, not one's body. But that's not true. People don't change because of others. It was always like this. I just acted like I didn't care. I really was a good person. And you couldn't tell, could you?
Oh? Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh,
I wanted
no,
to become a
so-
hero when I was small, too. I was immature. Probably now, too. That's why you should go. You can probably fly onto the ground even with one wing. You don't need to come with me.
Nasu.
She stood up and looked at me sternly for some reason.
Are you going to be okay? Alone until the end?
Didn't I tell you? I want to cool. Because I wanted to be a hero. And I wanted to be alone at the end. Because I was all alone till now.
Nasu.
I think my clumsy, forced smile went well. Probably the best in my life.
Goodbye. Then.
Flapping her single wing, she flew out. I can't read now because the cry counter is getting updated. Okay, there we
How
go.
did you know? I know the music. It's so good.
She looked like a fish of an angel that swam in the Red Sea.
Oh,
I stood up and sat in the cockpit. Not knowing what I'm doing, I tried fixing the broken AI. If I still had some luck left, my fate might change. When I closed my eyes, I heard a voice.
Why did you fight?
Because I didn't want to die, of course.
Why didn't you want to die?
Because I want to live, of course.
Then, why do you want to live?
It's obvious. It's because... at the farthest limit of my memory. Only that answer was different from before.
Oh, it's so... Is it done? Oh, there's still more. Answer.
Just when I was about to leave the city, I got a glimpse by... Where the fuck did I get glimpse?
Oh, let me just do something real quick. There we go. We do need an answer, Emo.
Oh shit,
I
we
need
do.
to draw. I need to draw some emotes. Oh wow, there we go.
Just when I was about to leave the city, I got caught by a messenger of the military. Someone must have remembered an old story from 5 years ago and enlisted me in this mission. When I returned to my room to pick up the black barrel that I left to rot, the angel was still there.
Are you going to fight like that? Are you going to fight that?
Looks like it. The knights are assembling too. The military's eager to do it. Eager to do it. They're aiming to at least change the cross's course. If that's it, then the possibility isn't zero.
It's impossible. No one understands what an Aristoteles is. Wait, is that your line?
Nope.
Yep, no, I wasn't wrong. That isn't a life form from this planet. There's no chance of winning.
How could that be? We've already defeated 3 Aristoteles. If we have more firepower than them, it's not an unstoppable opponent.
Well, I don't know about that. I can't be judged by this planet's common sense. That's why even a concept of death doesn't exist for them. They won't stop until they achieve their objective. Where did I get change from?
Objective? You guys had such a thing.
Yes. It's not our own objective, but we do. They arrived here to fulfill the wish of this planet. This planet died from the influence of the life forms that lived on it. The planet itself doesn't have a feeling of grief. Even perishing by the influence of its own life forms is alright. A planet only carries a will. It carries no meaning. But there is an exception. This planet is able to forgive because life forms follow the same fate as this planet. The human species were able to live on, even on the dead land. This planet was frightened by the existence that kept living on top of its corpse, and cried out for help at its end. Please, wipe out the life forms that are still alive. Wow.
I see.
Oh,
So that's who you guys are.
when I muttered that, no.
When I muttered that,
Oh,
the angel said no, as she shook her head.
The only ones who were able to hear the cry of the planet were other planets. We were the highest ranking species of those planets that received the will of this planet. For example, the Aristoteles that was called The heaven's corpse, what I used to be, was the most superior individual on Venus. She's literally from Venus. Oh, this is so good,
What?
Nasu.
Without knowing, I lost my breath. Our enemies were species that ruled over the aliens of other planets. Our common sense doesn't apply. The strongest life form on a planet, in other words, the planet itself. The human species who survived on this planet, simply put, were fighting 8 planets. Yeah. Chance of winning. You got that right.
Oh, it's so good.
The angel nodded sadly. On top of that... Wait.
What?
Is that...
Yeah, no, that's me, I think. On top
Okay.
of that,
Wait,
they're right.
Is that me?
Jeez. Oh, is it?
No, that's me.
Yeah, it is. Okay. You
On
weren't
top
wrong
of
either.
that... Alright. Jeez. Except the prophecy in the 2000th year, we would have gotten away by just being the victims.
No. The ones who are wrong are the Aristoteles. They don't have any will. Isn't it a bad thing to erase lives without having a will?
The angel, who had learned the common sense of this said that. But there is no longer any notion of right or wrong on this planet. The only simple rule was that you either live or die. That's why. Because I live till now. I'm not going to be on the dying side.
It won't change anything. Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
That's you.
Sorry, I was reading chat. It won't change anything.
Reading chat.
I don't have any reason to fight either. I probably will never have. At the point where we're just killing each other for no reason. We're equal. Isn't that the simplest way of life? The angel won't answer. What are you gonna do? Even if you have the same objective. That cross and you are different things, right? Your body will be destroyed along with this city. You said you died instantly, but that's by our standards. I doubt the concept of death on this planet applies to a life form for another planet. Aren't you able to move already? The downward-facing angel shook her head.
No. No. If I move, the outer shell of the wings will shatter. All the leaves of what everyone calls the world tree will fall. If that happens, uncountable numbers of angels will come pouring down. Everyone will die before the Aristoteles come, the gloomy angel said.
She's right.
Oh,
The number of leaves on the tree that reaches the clouds is far more than the number of surviving human species.
oh, it's literally the angels
Billions of
falling.
released angels will cover the whole planet in no time. Oh yeah.
It's literally angels falling from the sky.
And yeah, I assume you're good with going late tonight?
Of course.
Then yeah,
I'm
we'll
super
also be
into
reading the
this.
glossary because, from what I understand, that's just literally a part of the story.
Uh-huh. No Nasu writing shall be left untouched. That's the goal of this channel, honestly.
But you'll die if you don't.
It's alright. I am the people here. I am only an image created by them.
It's just that they provided you knowledge. You are different from us. To you, we're just simple accessories. You should hurry up and take it off so you'll feel light. The angel smiled sadly, and again shook her head. You're an idiot.
I know I am. I can't help it. I love this place. The teary-eyed.
The teary-eyed angel said that with a feeling of satisfaction. How can I argue with that? Okay. I suppose that can't be helped. Try count up.
Yes. What? It can't be helped.
As the angel nodded her head, she stared at me. Her straight eyes were asking me, "How about you?"
I'm going to die soon. You know?
Wait. Ah, yes.
Oh, I know that's you. That is you.
That's you. Nope,
oh, no,
that's
it is
you.
me. I'm going to die soon. You know? I think you can at least tell me that. I think you can at least tell me that, and the heavens won't punish you.
The punishment that came to this planet irresponsibly said that. As I carried my belongings on my back, I replied, "Yeah, I'll be honest. I love this city too. Besides, since that moment, I was possessed by you." The angel opened her eyes widely in surprise.
What does that mean?
It must mean I've fallen in love with you since then. I realize that now. When I threw out the words, the angel's expression sparkled, but she quickly put her head down.
But I'm not a human being.
The angel grasped something like that just now. Jeez. She's a real idiot. You know, there's only one human being left in the world, and that's me. What does that have to do with anything?
Oh, God. Huh? Oh,
Up one.
you're right.
Yep.
The angel nodded.
There's nothing else to talk about. I started walking outside as the
last
time of the
one.
military gathering approached. See ya. Go to someone with a better dream next time. You can become a real angel if you do that. My imagination was always twisted somewhere. When I looked back at her one last time, the angel answered with a gentle expression. No.
There's no such thing as a real angel. I'd rather stay a fake one.
Is that so? That the fantasy said that she will stay a fantasy. Was that so? Convinced, I left the room.
The fakers.
All that was left in the room was my sister's guitar and the fake angel.
And that was Angel Notes. Yes, I noticed the faker theme early on.
Yup.
And I'm just like, it's a Nasu work, alright? It's so good. And yes, the guitar being his sister's.
And it took us 2.5 hours to read.
I'm happy with that. It's what this deserved.
Yeah.
Oh, Nasu. No one writes like Nasu. Oh, the world building is amazing.
Ah,
It's
the
something
world
Nasu's
building.
always so good at. Nasu can do world building and characters just so incredibly well and ties them in just so well.
But yeah, check the glossary now.
There it is. Ooh, we got a lot to
And
get
let's
through
read it
here.
out. Yeah.
Wanna
Trading off
alternate
between
here?
us.
Yeah. Oh, this is so cool. Also, again, thank you to the Notes fandom for this amazing soundtrack and this translation.
Yeah.
Is there more notes?
I'm pretty sure this is it.
Wait, you said it was to make a good movie? Because it would. It's like the perfect length.
Yeah.
Info,
yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, this is sci-fi. This is like a more sci-fi focused story. So I'll start this off.
Overcount. Oh.
Overcount 1999. Hagane no Daichi.
Hakane node? Yes.
This is the only notes. Oh my god. Oh, it's great. And I'm so happy it exists. Nasu was great from the start.
Yup. I mean, it's sci-fi, but it's also it's science fantasy, kind of.
Yeah,
Except
I love
it's more
sci-fi
like
fantasy.
it's more like fantasy that's treated like sci-fi.
Like, oh, there's just something about Nasu's writing that feels so. It's so easy to connect to.
I mean, he killed an angel with a gun, but the angel that was an illusion built from people's minds. Like, I mean, I guess that's more like psychic stuff that shows up in like sci-fi stuff.
Oh,
but
god
I
damn it.
feel like that's a.
I just realized an earlier idea for D&D that I also threw out was very similar to something in this. Like, shockingly similar. Shit, now I kind of want to bring it back.
Anyway,
if
though.
anything has inspired me to actually try and write things seriously, it's been Nasu. I kind of like half was into it during my first D&D game, but Nasu has actually made me want to write things.
But yeah, let's get reading.
Yes, let's go. Land of Steel, a planet that died, a globe that reached its end, a world where living things can't live. The name of the world in the present time. It's not its official name, but a nickname passed down between the people who live in the corrupted land. As the name Land of Steel indicates, a large part of the continent are now wild lands that are torn apart, covered by a tainted gray-colored cloud. Food can't be grown, and the atmosphere no longer suited for animals. To put it in a human species way, a drastic end of a century. But even after the mother planet died, the humans were able to live on with its developed civil technology. Even the planet's end, where people once imagined, can bring an end to mankind. That's relevant right now, isn't it?
It hasn't stopped being relevant.
Yeah. Don't you mean always has been?
Avery Hyakushu. 100 subspecies. Next generation primates that were created by the human species who used up all the planet's resources. They were modeled after the living things that used to exist on the planet. They were modified/enhanced in order for them to survive on the corrupted planet. There were numerous branches to the A-rays, but they were categorized into about 100 major species. From 1 to 10 consists of only one type of A-rays each, and not a mass. Some carry the genes of humans and they look like us, but a large part of them are mixed/evolved form of various creatures and primates.
Oh, I see.
Ah, liner.
Huh?
Oh, look, the next part.
Oh, light Sparks Liner High. Wait, is that where?
Or like
that
the
right
ghost
there?
liners.
The next human race in the land of Steel, evolved from the old human beings who adapted to this world without changing their shape. They technically belong to the A race as well. They're able to adapt and live on today's environment, but they still don't carry any ability more than a normal human being. They are building a country in order to reconstruct their old civilization. Ceasefire with the A-rays, with the 100 A-rays.
But yeah, you remember the classification of
Yes,
the kind
ghost
of
liners, yeah.
spirits that are. Yeah. Ghost liners.
Sparks later.
Fable's Tale. Tyson. And the Great War. After the death of the planet, there was a war between the survived human race and the 100 A-rays. Mankind, in order to survive, and the A-rays to rule the world. Under the Six Sisters who united the unmasked A-rays, the human race were on the verge of defeat. Near the end of the war, mankind created the Knights and the human species, and it further killed the planet that's already dead. There was no victor to this war. It was interrupted by an intruder that suddenly appeared and nearly wiped out both sides.
Oh, I thought that would be what appeared next in the glossary. Oh, the Six Sisters are really cool.
Nope.
They were mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
They had the nuclear Excalibur.
Well, no, they just packed as much power as a nuclear bomb.
Well, they had demonic swords as well. I guess I kind of inferred that. Knights. Or Ether Liner.
Ether
Kishi.
liners, yeah.
Knights. Life form that receives an even stronger effect from the drastic environment. They wield a special weapon called the demonic swords. Aggressive species that can fight the A-rays equally, without any support of firearms from the old age. There are currently 78 knights enlisted. Wow, the world building here. You could run a tabletop campaign in this world.
Yes.
Like, there's more than enough to... Honestly, Nasu probably did at some point. That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Oh, some people have tried to? Oh, that'd be so cool. I'd love to run such plain one at some point.
Knight arms. Muckin. Demonic/magical swords. The name of the weapon that knights carry. All human species born in this world are affected by Jinn, the rain. Oh, because it's a...
Oh, there it is. It's at the
Wait,
bottom.
that's right. It's does that mean that it's a... Would that be a different translation then? Not necessarily a mistranslation, but like an alternate reading? Because that's what I'm assuming that these are.
I guess.
I
Also,
know Nasu fucking loves that shit.
it's funny how like it makes sense for grain to be above that, so we know what it is.
Yeah. All human species born in this world are affected by grain. Babies born with a large amount of grain in them shape it as if it's their bones during their lives. And when they reach adulthood, it is laid outside their bodies. Their body. Because it is created with the unanalyzed entity grain, it is able to cause various effects, and its power is strong enough to be considered a weapon. Only few humans can shape the demonic swords. Those who carry a demonic sword powerful enough to be used for war are considered as knights. Only one demonic sword exists per knight.
Oh my god, it's literally the bone of their sword.
Yeah.
Bone swords. Also, I would fucking die to see a Type Moon tabletop streamed game, even though I couldn't understand anything because they're in Japanese.
Well, you have. Oh, okay. That yes.
Yes.
I mean, like, live capture, live capture closed caption is good to get a general sense of what's going on.
I was
usually.
curious how it, like, do with our VODs. Surprisingly well is the answer. Because I checked with it on YouTube.
Well, remember, noble phantasms are either holy or demonic swords.
Yeah, no, I remember demonic sword being
Generally.
used a lot in Fate Stay Night, especially in the Fate route. Specifically when Gil pulled all of his swords out of Gate of Babylon. And I was like, wait, what? Gilgamesh in Fate Stay Night?
Although this is a very specific thing referenced as a demonic sword that is different.
It's very cool how the swords are literally made from their magical energy, basically.
Yeah.
Space dust.
Exalted works.
Oh,
I
Exalted.
would go for
Fate, right?
Fate Core because I love that system.
Yeah, like looking at this, I don't think D&D 5e would work very well with this. Also, I gotta restart the music
horribly.
again.
It would be so. It just right click on it and loop it.
I don't know if we're gonna need another loop, but we might. Grain. Ether. Grain. Or Jinn. Space dust. Name given to all the harmful and unpredictable particles generated from the planet that lost its function. Although it is harmful to humans, sometimes it gives that's throwing me off. A unique effect to their body, and some call it ether. It's 100 A-rays, human species, knights, or all new species created by this grain. The energy transfer rate of the grain scattered in the atmosphere is incredible, and it resulted in a new level of warfare that was never possible on this planet. With A-rays, you could take in grain into their bodies, and the demonic swords crystallized by grain. All the weapons of the old age became useless, and yet he still carried a gun. Oh, the Fate Core system is interesting.
Yeah, like basically it's just that it's so incredibly like light and built not to like simulate. It's not built to simulate like a world. It's built to simulate a story. So it's super easy to just like shift around and get to work.
Alright.
It works for my purposes.
I enjoyed playing
But that's
it.
just because I'm not like yeah.
But I will say 5 years just so
I'm not
familiar.
too much of a simulationist and
That's how you found it, right? Stay night.
Yeah, it was like a Fate RPG, so I looked up Fate RPG. It's like, oh hey.
Alright, I believe the next one is yours. You get humans.
Last Seed.
What a tragedy.
Ningen. Humans. Human species who hasn't received any modification, or their descendants. Since they are no longer able to survive on this, or I guess descendant. Since they are no longer able to survive on this planet, it is said that they are on the verge of extinction. In order for humans to live outside, they need support from medication or machines. They can't directly inhale the air, nor can they eat the food made in the factory, because they raise the physical ability too much that they become poisonous. They are rare, but have no value.
Also, just to use a descendant instead of descendants, because he's the last human.
Yep.
Yep, that's what he was. He's the last
story.
seed, the last human.
The
Oh,
story
gunshot.
was about the actual extinction of the original human race.
Oh, Nasu.
But yeah.
I think
Cloud
Nasu already was
Sky.
spoiling me on other writers. Nothing will live up. Number 20, Guardian Angels. Tenshi, Angel.
No.
Huh? Oh, no,
One
20. Artificial Angels within the
Nope,
100.
you missed Cloud Sky.
Oh, yes. Whoops. Cloud Sky. Soragakurai. The sky. It's dark. Sky covered by clouds. The thick layers of clouds hide the sky since the Great War. It doesn't mean the sky is gray. We just can't see the sky, which is red. The sky, it's red. That was such a good line.
Yep.
Alright.
Number
No.
20, Guardian Angel. Tenshi. Angel. Artificial angels within the 100 rays. The 20th species within the 100. But it is equal to the top 10, just considering its power to destroy objects. A mass that protects a single A-ray species. The original is an angel in the largest religion of the Old Age. A human type that has a pair of bird wings. Aggressive species that uses the absorbed heavy particle that had in the atmosphere after the world got destroyed as its source of power.
Wow. I love that this is here. Oh, I heard. Oh, I didn't even notice the voices in the music.
Yeah, there's some dialogue.
It's Aristoteles.
But yeah.
Ultimate 1. Aristoteles. 8 life forms that appeared near the end of the war. Unknown existences. Not only their appearance, but each of their biology differs significantly. The reason they've used this name is a mystery, but the origin is probably a scientist from the Old Age. Oh, they literally reference it!
Yeah.
Ultimate 1. It's such a cool name. Considering mankind and A-rays as their enemies, they repetitively attacked them indiscriminately. Mankind were broken their platform completely, and the 100 A-rays decreased in number significantly by them. After the Great War was over, they slowed down their activity by the sea of the clouds that cover the sky, but they still continue to slaughter the living things on the planet. Since then, the human species and the A-rays ceased fire, Until they destroy the common enemy, they group themselves together as the human race.
Number 1 saving system to Earth. Roken and Shimai. The Six Sisters.
Oh, we finally get to read about the Six
At the
Sisters.
time of the Great War,
Absolutely.
beings that ruled over the 100A race. It is said that they look just like humans, and that all 6 look like witches in a fairy tale story wearing a black hat and riding on a broomstick. Each of them carried an ability that surpasses all the 100A rays. Near the end of the Great War, the youngest sister, Judge, was defeated by a knight. But her death cry tore apart a continent.
What?
The whereabouts of the remaining 5 is unknown.
I love how they're literally just
hey.
witches on brooms. I mean, we got this whole, like, super dark world, and then they're just... Oh, that's great.
But hey,
But that ending, sure.
you've got an intro to read now.
I do. Oh, I do. Oh, it's literally all the different Aristoteles. Also, that ending, jeez. Just cry tore apart our continent.
Yeah. Alright, well, go on ahead and read it. This one's the Black Aristoteles that got reference.
Yes. Type Jupiter. Wait! Type Jupiter!
Oh, that's what we were all waiting for. Type Jupiter. The Aristoteles are types.
Wait, so Type Moon, they literally got their name from an Aristoteles.
And now you know what Type Moon is.
Oh, Type Moon is terrifying. Oh, if that ever came out in HA, there's no way they'd be able to deal with that. Oh my god. I assume it's less sad because it's the moon, but still. The ultimate one of the moon.
But first, read Type Jupiter's entry.
Type Jupiter? Yeah, I know. HA looks pretty hope. I did make the theory, okay? Would they do that? Oh yes, Type Jupiter. Oh my god, Zelrich, you did a type? Jeez. What is Zelrich? A sorcerer, I guess. Yes, he stopped Type Moon.
Stopped the falling moon. Whatever that meant.
It was it's literally the Aristoteles falling to Earth. Oh my god.
Anyway, read the...
Oh, Zelrich is so cool. Oh, is Zelrich in something? Like, is Zelrich a protagonist or focused character?
Who knows?
Zelrich is an HA. Zelrich is an HA. I'm calling it. That's a theory. That is indeed a theory. I see realism is taking the who knows from Mars. Type Jupiter. Kuroi Aristoteles. The Black Aristoteles. An Aristoteles that appeared in the Western continent. What?
I just think, yep, that's the way to do it. Neither confirm or deny.
The black giant, several dozen kilometers in size. Its form is pretty close to a human. It's actually a group of black photon gas, and theoretically, its size can expand indefinitely. It carries an unknown core at its center that can only be described as an artificial sun, and gases are emitted from the object. Of the 8 Aristoteles, it eliminated the most living things. The Western continent went on an all-out battle, and it wiped them out without a scar. Although, there's probably no such thing as the scar to this Aristoteles. After this incident, a team of knights was sent to the western continent. After a fierce battle, it was sliced into half. Into half? That's so weird. It was sliced in half by the demonic sword of Knight Edom, the Slash Emperor. The chopped artificial sun went berserk and burned the whole western continent. Oh my god.
Hmm.
The Slash Emperor? Who the fuck is the Slash Emperor?
Them.
I guess we'll find out. Will we find out? I'm not gonna scroll down. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. Or we won't. Who knows? Type. Saturn.
The cross.
The cross. A cross-shaped Aristoteles that is 3,000 meters long. Its outer shell is composed of an illuminating mineral, and there's nothing else. This flying object fires a rain of light to the ground from its body.
Oh, this is so Ava.
The rain... The rain is a cross-shaped electric impact that is a meter long, and it explodes as it hits the ground, annihilating the living things around it. There are variations of this cross-shaped light, and some causes an earthquake and tears apart the earth as it lands on the ground. The crosses stuck in the ground are just like tombs spread about on the wild land. Also known as the Flying Fortress. It seems to be the leader of the Aristoteles that are on the planet.
You are being told to acknowledge and reference, and I'm just gonna say, is that some Homestuck shit?
Oh god, I assume that's Homestuck, but... Oh, it's been so many years.
Oh, you don't get a Homestuck reference. Also, let's keep moving for wise
years. Yes, let's, you can take
Homestuck?
over reading,
Yeah,
of course.
you look up Homestuck shit. Longinus. Oh, talking about... about Ava.
I look at that and I'm like, well, yes, that's Dave, but
Longinus.
don't remember
Black
the
barrel.
context.
A black rifle that the gun god uses. The gun god. They literally said the gun god.
You can tell.
Created by a mineral that counters all jinn. It's a weapon that is feared by life forms that carry any slight amount of jinn or grain. Oh wow! So it's like a special, like, anti-grain gun. That's so cool.
Yep.
And he's literally called the gun god. Because all living beings that exist in this world are affected by grain, it is impossible for them to use or even... He's the only one who can use it! Or even
That's
touch it.
right.
Because he lacks grain, he can use it. Yes, he's literally the counter to everyone on the planet. The God Killer Gun. If the target creature is stronger, in other words, the more grain it carries, the more powerful the bullet becomes. Today, only the rare species that were able to evolve and doesn't carry any grains can touch this gun. Oh my god! That means literally no one can use it now.
Yep.
It's useless. It's so powerful, yet it can't be used. Are you ready? For the blood sky?
Blood sky. The sky. It's red. The sky in this world. Above the gray sea of clouds, there's not a blue but a red sky. It is not because of a pollution, but from the blood of one of the Aristoteles that appeared near the end of the Great War, type Pluto.
Type Pluto.
In order to not let Pluto enter the planet's atmosphere, the six sisters fought it and killed each other at the same time, and its blood covered the whole planet as a result. And the gray cloud is said to be a shield that the six sisters placed. Within this red sky, the two Aristoteles that are prevented from entering the planet is floating like fishes that swim in the sea.
Oh my god. Also, I know Lunch, and this isn't an Ava exclusive thing, but I know I've read it at some point, but I don't remember. Because I was curious because of Ava.
Yeah. I think I remember.
I assume it's something biblical because
what it is. Well, yes.
Obvious theme here and in Ava. Also, yeah, I definitely see like.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the name of the soldier that speared Jesus while on the cross.
Yeah, that sounds. Oh yeah. I think that was it. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I definitely see the character design similarities, but in terms of character, they're very different.
They're superficially similar and they act similar, but they have very different cores. They both act edgy is the thing.
Yeah, and some people don't really read past that, I
Kiritsugu
guess.
believes in it. Gun God just wants to look cool.
Just wants to look cool and live.
And live.
It's so simple in the best way possible. Again, Nasu's writing. I don't think anything else will really ever click with me this much.
Speaking of Nasu's writing.
Yes. Oh, I love... Also, whenever I see Great War, my mind just corrects it to Grail War for a second.
The Holy Great.
Kire, get out of here. Oh my god, it's Type Venus. That's her. That's her. Tenno Nakigata, Heaven's Corpse. An Aristoteles estimated to be 1,000 meters long. It appeared after the Great War and was flying in the Sea of Clouds. Its shape was never confirmed by anyone, and its details were unknown. A life form that had a pair of wings, and compared to the other Aristoteles, it was close to this planet's species. According to the records, it was shot down in the mission by the Knights in the 83rd year of the new calendar, and it fell somewhere on the continent. Originally, it was a life form that lands on the Earth on the Earth of a planet, rooting itself and spreading its spore as it eats away at the planet. It can also be described as a gigantic carnivorous plant. It was also put to an eternal sleep by the Black Barrel. It's spreading its spores. Yep.
God. Gun God. His nickname, given upon the mission of the bird drop. Some sarcastically called him a god imitator.
Fake, huh?
A rare pure human. He excavated the Black Barrel from a sealed area and made it his gun. Died during the intercept mission of Type Saturn.
Ultimate one. Yep. I mean, it was pretty... Yes, F's in the chat. I mean, for Godo. A great character. How, like... People are aware of Notes, right? Because it definitely deserves to be well known of. It's like, Notes is fucking great. It has exposure, right?
It's definitely one of the like less experienced stories.
It's just such a nice short story.
It's a very Nasu short story.
It is. Yeah, it seems like something that Nasu fans would like, yeah. Specifically people who like Nasu. Yeah. by Nasu for Nasu fans. Ultimate
yeah.
one. Aristoteles. Wait, is this a repeat?
No, it's different.
No, I don't think it is. Yeah. Ultimate one. Aristoteles. Life forms that came from the other planets. They were the strongest life forms of their respective planets, and each of them had the power to wipe out all the remaining living beings in this world. The name Aristoteles is given by the humans, and they have no such things in the first place. The Aristoteles don't fight each other, and they just freely fly around killing things. Several Aristoteles among them contacted mankind, learning about this planet's concept of knowledge. After Type Saturn, he received orders from their respective planets and sent it to others, got eliminated. They entered a final war with the human race. Oh god, yes, the music was on point in some places.
Yeah. And the fucking like
it led to a cry count 6.
that's a nice ending too. Is like the vague implication of the future that we don't get to see.
Oh? The
That
glossiest one were entry-wise?
what's the entry?
You want to send it to us? We can read it. I'm curious now. I'm curious. That was terrible.
Ah.
You want to take this one?
Tight moon. It didn't appear in notes, but it is said in an interview a long time ago that it's a secret boss in notes who carries the demonic sword, Reel of the World. True World?
Yes! Holoanorexia!
That's from Beastlayer.
Tight Moon is in
Alright.
holoanorexia. Wait,
I can neither affirm nor deny that.
wait. Is that girl Tight Moon?
I can neither affirm nor deny that.
Oh,
Neither
it fit in
affirm
with all
nor
the
deny.
religious symbolism too. Oh my god, she's
No affirm, no deny.
New theory. New theory. Gotta make the theories. Theory time. It's a staple of the stream. Gotta do it. She's Tight Moon. Tight Moon is the girl. Is Eliance. That's what I'm gonna call her. Wait, what's Tsukino's Sango?
I've actually only the name only vaguely.
Is that another Nasu short story? Oh, it's an audio story. You can listen to more Nasu. You had me at written by Nasu. Oh, I gotta avoid the Homestuck spoilers.
Yeah. I pulled it up separately because I was so fucking curious where that came from.
Wait, he's Sakamoto. Who else? Oh yes,
What
yes.
is that?
Yeah, I think I remember you. Her up for him.
Oh yeah, Sakamoto.
Oh, we definitely. Yes, Shiki. Oh, I'm so excited to see what Shiki's about. By the way, nice pixel art worm.
Uh,
Oh, is that safe to click on?
I assume so, but I'll look.
Well, I sent it,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yes, there he is. Yep, even more superficial comparisons. Oh my god. I love this bonus stream. We need to do more of these.
Me too, but I mean, the time to do them is the
Oh,
is the
yes.
premium usually.
Yeah, no, we'll do these when we can, but they're not going to be very often. That's why they're a bonus stream.
Yep.
That's what makes them so special. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming to the bonus
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah. Thanks
You know
for watching. Whether you're here live, commenting, or lurking, both appreciated. If you're in the
You know,
VODs, we
I'm
also
gonna-
appreciate you. We love you, YouTube. You know, like,
love you
comment,
too.
subscribe.
Thank you.
Just leave a comment saying this is a comment for the purposes of boosting you in the algorithm, and
Yeah.
that'll help us. I
Why?
promise to read stuff eventually. We were originally. Oh, well, yes. Even if we were originally, yeah, no, I would.
Yeah, there's no way we're going to. Oh my god. But yes, thank you guys so much. Thanks for turning up on this off day and experiencing notes with us. Oh wait, I'm still sad.
Oh,
Thank you so much. Oh, yes, the OST is so good. I'm definitely going to be downloading these individually. Oh,
we've been added at the.
we have.
Oh yeah, we can just. Oh yeah, that's literally just
Oh.
a part of notes.
Yeah, they're
we can
just
just see
there.
the art.
They're just there. Oh, can I just put that up on stream for everyone?
Oh
be safe
yeah,
to put
on
up
the
on
right
stream,
there
right?
is yes.
We're not gonna get a strike from this, right? Oh. Oh no.
Whoa. Oh.
Willie got
Yeah,
accidentally
accidentally.
timed out.
Oof.
Wakamoose. Wakamoose in chat. I already have like a bunch of sources in notes, so I just added a bunch of S's at the end. Here, this is the art. Look at them.
Wow. Oh, it was when I said wow, it wasn't it was just the OBS loading screen thing. So
Oh.
but yeah, on the right there is Slash Emperor.
Oh shit.
You know, the guy who cut Type Jupiter apart.
How do you do that? How do you cut a god in half? Also, look at her playing the
That's
guitar.
how. Look at that fucking sword. Look at that blue sky around it. Is that an aura, or is that like? Yeah, it extends below the.
Yeah, that's something that could cut an Aristotle at least in half. Emperor Slash is the fucking strong.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, I love this concept art so much.
Like.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
let me see the
because
entry on the
that's
sword.
not
Yes.
like. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, okay.
Oh
So yes,
shit.
he turned the sky
Oh, it's
blue
turning the sky
again
blue. Yes. Oh, that's so cool.
by absorbing the energy from the sky. By absorbing the blood from Tight Pluto.
Oh, I want more stuff in this world now. It's so good. I want more stuff in this
It's
world.
literally as over the top. Like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure this is literally as over the top as the Nasuverse gets. Like, this shit's on equal level with, like, true magics, right?
Angel knits. Oh, the wiki entry.
Oh?
Yeah, post it for us. I'm excited. Or is it in Discord? Yes, the thing on the right is Slash Emperor is so cool.
Oh, yeah, all 6 of Sue's true magicians. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, they're all sorcerers. Oh my god. There's got so there's nothing else in this universe, or
I don't know where that info would come from. I assume from, like, an interview sometime.
or it's the same universe but setting. Oh wow, chat reloaded for a second because
Yeah.
I assume the Japanese characters. I don't makes use of the night arm slash.
Edo Idim makes use of the Night Arm / Emperor, the sword that consumes planets. It is described as a simple
Sword that
night arm
consumes
that is able to
planets?
grow according to the size of its opponent. It was not particularly notable against the A-rays, only showing its real worth upon the arrival of the Aristoteles that are kilometers in size. While at rest, it is in a seed-like state growing out of his right palm. He awakens it by driving into the ground, and it begins to grow like a plant at the speed of his own thoughts.
Oh my god.
It makes use of large
So
quantities
cool.
of grain to manifest itself, so it needs an enormous energy source from which to convert it. Slash Emperor, as it grows larger, chips away at the very earth for its energy. The method of eroding the earth can be compared to the ways of the old world, which makes Slash Emperor something that can be called the embodiment of human nature. It is something that destroys the world in order to protect humans. When it is large enough in its battle state, it seems to give off a blue aura-like part. But that is not the grain released by the blade. It's actually Slash Emperor splitting apart the blood sky, the blood of Tight Pluto covering the planet, of the Land of Steel and displaying its true state. This act is the dignity of Slash Emperor. The sword is able to cleave the Aristoteles in a single slash, despite nothing else in the world aside from Black Barrel being able to harm them.
I love how he has to literally grow the sword. Like, shove it into the ground and grow it. That's so cool.
ORT can wait.
Like, as a DM, Nasu is what I aspire for in terms of descriptions.
But yes, that
And
is
just in
that is the level of Aya.
Oh god, it literally is. Holy shit.
Like,
oh, I assume Gil doesn't have this in Gate of Babylon either.
He wouldn't have this because this isn't something made by humans.
Yep.
This is the byproduct of the descendants of humanity.
Slash Emperor can probably one-shot Gil. Easily.
Maybe?
That's the vibe I get. I guess...
It would.
Well, the
it
thing
wouldn't
is,
be that big.
Gil's downfall is like... Oh god, my brain is dying. His personality is his downfall. I'll use the word personality. He's too arrogant. Arrogance. That's the word. Arrogance.
Yeah. Oh, you were saying Edom versus Gil? Because, like, Edom would... He only is very effective against the Aristoteles because they're so large that it can draw out the power of his sword.
Oh, okay. So it
Gil
would be.
is
So Gil
relatively
probably would
small.
win.
Gil would definitely win, I think.
I mean, Gil's ego isn't small. It's unwarrantedly large, and it's got him killed every route. I wonder. The chains. Oh, there's so much to wonder here. I love this stream. It's just
Yeah, like...
talking about the Nasuverse.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider them divine. Although, to be fair, they're definitely celestial.
Yeah, I think this
Oh,
is,
yeah,
like,
no, they're definitely
specifically
not.
powerful in the Land of Steel.
But yeah, like... It's the Nasu thing. Outside of this one specific concept, outside of this one specific case, this one specific moment in time, this one specific scenario, this character would be infinitely less powerful. But here, in this moment, he is strong.
Ah, Shiro versus Gilgamesh.
Exactly. It's the one specific advantage moment.
Nasu has Nasu tropes, and they're great.
Compared to, like, Gil, who is just a monster.
Although his arrogance is always his downfall.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
isn't it canon that he looks at futures where he loses because he can see the future and he just dismisses them?
I think that was said in an interview, but
She's
I
like,
know that was said
nah,
by
that's
Wes.
impossible. I can't lose. I'm too great. Oh no, the thing I saw that was gonna happen just happened. Oh no. Who could have predicted this?
Yep.
But that's the thing, it's a part of his character. High level magic is a battle of concepts. It's not a question of strength, but rather a test which one possesses the most sound system of rules. Oh, I love that.
Yep.
You know, we need to like look at more Nasu interviews when it's safe.
We absolutely do. But tonight we should probably end because we have reached our
we can talk about the
more
Nasuverse for hours.
general. Easily, we easily can.
And I am so tired. I'm sorry if it like bled into the stream at all.
Not too much.
I can always like draw extra energy from getting excited about Nasuverse stuff.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like about to pass out from being tired and like, wait, Nasuverse?
But yes, let's end this bonus stream.
Yeah. Thank you all so
as-
much for watching. This is great. We need to do this
Yep.
again sometime.
Once again, thanks everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for
Thanks to
enjoying.
Alzheimer's Law. Also,
And if you
gotta
watched
clarify.
and you didn't enjoy, I guess fair to each their
Yes.
own. Thanks for
Not
watching
for
anyway.
everyone. Thank you.
But yes,
Also, I just want to say this isn't displacing any HA streams. Just want to reiterate that.
this was bonus. Oh yeah, YouTube. This is not displacing an HA stream exactly. It just was a bonus. There would only be 2 HA streams whether we did this or not. this week,
Lactose
so-
intolerance is fun, guys.
Yeah. And yeah, Notes was just fucking good. I
Oh, I
tried reading
love
it a
Notes.
while back, but I think I noticed how disjointed it was at the start, and I was like, oh, this must be like a weird, like, half-done translation. I'll come back when it's done.
It's
Because I
displacing
was
D&D that wasn't
a
ready yet.
stupid child years ago.
But yes.
Yeah. Man, when do we do Hollow Anorexia streams on this channel? I mean, when do
Holodaraxia.
we do streams and what do we streams?
7 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Holodaraxia. Unlimited choice works. We already died once. Also, yes, I love how disjointed
Yeah.
Notes was this time around. But
Oh yeah,
yes.
no, it's good. It's good when you actually go through it all because you can piece together what's going on.
But
It's
yes.
just that at the time I was like, well, this doesn't look solid, so it's probably not real. And I was a fool.
Mushroom writing is always good.
Yeah.
Basically. I've yet to encounter mushroom writing I do not like. But yes.
But yeah, there's your links.
Yes, there's the
the chat.
things. Follow the things. That my stuff. Also, I will be streaming a D&D one shot on this channel. Eventually, I'll announce when I'm sure. You ready to show? Yeah, yes, Marrow. Yes, Marrow. Oh,
Hey, what's up? I'm
oh,
twitch.tv/manic, twitch.tv/themacule, actually. And I exist. Check out my YouTube. Project's coming soon. Edited up playthrough of Devil May Cry 2 for some
why
reason.
do you do this
I need to start
yourself?
recording that.
I already
I'm
know
probably
the
just gonna have to
answer.
go through some parts of it alone.
F's in the Waka moves into the chat. Haha, I'm not into anything. By definition.
The joke being that it turns out that just the mushroom written scenes are the one singular thing.
Honestly, that probably just makes them more funny.
But anyway, that's me.
That's you shilling?
Look up my
Alright.
name on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch. I don't do things, but if you look, maybe there's a chance that I've done something.
Yeah. Alright. And let's raid Lily for tonight playing Ace Attorney.
Alright.
Which we're
And
gonna
I'll see
do
you all
one
later.
day. I'll see you all later. Thank you. Thanks for coming to the bonus. Oh my god, so many people showed up. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, everyone. Or day, or wherever it is. Or whenever it is.
Have a good whatever time.
Have an angel notes, everyone. See ya. And